Good morning. Wait, see if a few comes in. Just wanted to check in, let everybody know how it's going, and have some sunshine and coffee. So much sunshine, even my coffee cup needs sunglasses. Look, look. Good morning. Things are doing a lot better. I'm adjusting very well. It's taken a little while, but I'm doing very good. So just thought I'd stop in and say hello to everybody. We're still waiting for Rebel's Ashes, trigger warning. My beautiful dog Rebel's Ashes. They should be coming any day, so we're waiting for that. And really, we're doing pretty good. It's been an adjustment, but I have a very strong will, very strong heart. So I think everything's going to be okay. We're doing really good. Good morning. You're beautiful, and I love you so much. Oh, thank you, my beautiful daughter. Good morning, sweetheart. I love you too. Just come on here to let everybody know how I'm doing. We miss our Rebel, don't we? Our home's never going to be the same. Too much quiet, too much silence. Thank you, sweetheart. You have a wonderful day at work. I love you. Very much. Oh, well, you're just amazing. I'm so glad that God blessed me with a beautiful daughter. You're just amazing. Thank you. Love you too. Aw. I'm so glad that you popped in here this morning, sweetheart. Good to see ya. Can't wait till you're back over here at the house visiting. We need some girl time. I spent yesterday working on getting stuff done. I got my car cleaned up, got everything detailed, went to the car wash. So I'm just keeping myself busy. Like I said, it's so sunny this morning, even my coffee cup needs sunglasses. See, whoops. Sunglasses on the coffee cup. It's bright out there. I was just out picking a few more blueberries. So far, I've froze 4 quarts of blueberries, and I've got, I think, 2 quarts I picked yesterday. So quite a few blueberries, and they are just loaded. Can't wait to give you some blueberries. I know you are my blueberry girl. Trigger warning, we smoke, we drink coffee, and we chat. Oh, anybody else here like blueberries? I only have 2 bushes, and they just are amazing. They're so full, and they are just big, juicy, delicious blueberries. So I'm trying to figure out what I'm going to get into today. I think I want to go plant shopping, pick me up some plants for my little garden on my deck. I think I'll pick up some tomato plants and some pepper plants. And see what other herbs I have, maybe for my little herb garden. I think that's my plan for the day. I think that's what I'm going to be doing today. I'm not sure yet what I'll get into. There's not very many little shops in the town right here close to me. I'd have to go a little bit farther to go to some shops. I might do that. Maybe this afternoon I'll run over to see what all they have at their shops. Check it out. See what all they have for summer and get some summer vibes going. And then I think we're going to try and start getting the camper ready here. I don't know if it's this week or next week, so we can get it ready for summer and do some summer camping. So I'm looking forward to that. So really everything's going really good. Adjusting, it's not easy. The house is way too quiet, but I'm adjusting. It's just one of those things. You never realize how much time that you spend in a day with your beautiful animals and how much company they are and how much you really enjoy, your whole day with them until you wake up one morning and they're not there. And it's a big adjustment. And I'm an animal lover. I love animals. So it's a big adjustment for me. I think it's more of an adjustment for me than it is for my husband because I was home all day and with Rebel all day. Now he had all evenings, because he's usually in and out and doing things. So Rebel stays home with mommy because he was allergic to grass. He was allergic to fleas. He had so many different allergies and, it was kind of rough. We had to make special areas for him to be in so that he didn't have any kind of a reaction. We didn't want our baby to be sick. And he was so spoiled. Mommy and Daddy definitely spoiled him rotten. He was definitely a rebel without a cause. But I thought I would just stop in and let everybody know that everything's going good. We are adjusting. I'm definitely getting ready to get stuff ready for the camper. I started looking around to see my little notes. What all do I need to take to the camper? Yes, we do, sweetheart. Indeed, we do. We need to do some investigating soon. Yeah, we were talking about that the other night, and my husband said, where are you guys going to go next? What, investigating. Yeah, investigation. I was telling everybody how funny you are on camera and that I love your oopsie. That is just adorable. Remember when we were at the graveyard and you go backwards over the hill, oopsie, or down at the river and you're almost walking backwards into the river, oopsie. I was telling people in here the other day about it. It's so adorable. I said, you guys are just going to love my daughter. She's absolutely adorable. She's so funny, and she don't even mean to be. Yes, it was so funny. And I mean, you don't even intentionally mean to do it. And I thought everybody, you're a runner too, so you'll take off running. My camera girl will be running off with the camera, leaving poor old mom there to fend herself. So I was going to get you a big long bungee strap so I could pull you back in when you got too far out. Yeah. Do you want to come up and join me? I can bring you up. You can talk to me. I can send you a link. Let me see how I do that. Well, wait a minute. Oh, you're on the bus. Okay, gotcha. No problem. Yeah, we're definitely going to have to set up some investigations. I was thinking about that haunted hotel that we talked about. I don't really want to say anything in our area because I don't want to uh, let people know exactly where we are, or how close we are, or anything like that. So to keep us from mentioning anything that we shouldn't, we're just going to say the haunted hotel. Yeah, I was thinking about maybe booking a room there, but right now with summer coming, don't know how busy they're going to be. They would probably prefer that you do that in an off season, because right now I was going down through the town there the other day and there was just people everywhere, vehicles everywhere. So I know right now is probably their busy season, but I can always see if they have like an off time. And I definitely want that one room that they were telling me about when I was speaking to reservations. It has a balcony, so you can go out and stand and smoke on it, and it's one of the most haunted rooms. So I think that's the one I think we're going to try and get, and hopefully it's not the one that everybody's wanting. Did you see my coffee cup with the sunglasses? I said it's so sunny this morning, even my coffee cup needs sunglasses. Mom's just being silly, trying to get my sense of humor back. The kitty's doing a lot better. He's not running around meowing, so he's doing better. But you'll see when you come to visit, sweetheart, it's a big difference. Yeah, I felt out. I'm telling you, you are just so cute. We definitely need to get you on some videos and let people see how cute you are. I mean, it's amazing. I just love it. Even my husband said, now we can't go without Lissa. We got to have Lissa, because she's just definitely into it. And I was on here, I think it was a couple live streams ago, showing people some of the different equipment we had and how we used it, and explaining some of the paranormal, and that yes, paranormal is real, and that you can get in trouble if you don't know what you're doing. Definitely, soon as we can. Yes, definitely. Yeah, there's a few places that we definitely want to hit. I know you were talking about a couple of the local graveyards, and I'd like to take you to the Mound Cemetery where I went. That's got the big mound in it, and see what you think of that, and see if you pick up any vibes, because I did. I mean, I think it was kind of sad that they actually took 6 foot off the top of the Indian mound, but they did what they did. I don't know why they did it, but they did. So, but definitely soon. I was telling them about Trans-Allegheny. Is that the other one we were thinking about, and how expensive it was? I was so shocked at how expensive it was, and how people are benefiting so much off of the paranormal. But I don't know if a facility's using that and they're putting it back into the facility to upkeep. I can understand that. I can see that happening. But yeah, we were definitely discussing the paranormal. Was it real or was it fake? And I was explaining how we had that shadow in our home that we had not had, and you could actually watch it. I know that was crazy, but I would love to be able to go there. Yes, me too. I can't believe you have to have a certain number in your group, and what was it, like 20 or something? That's just crazy. Maybe we can check with some other groups and see if they'd be interested in it, or try and get some people to join, because that's just. And I don't know how much evidence you're even going to get with that many people. Okay, was it 10? Okay. Yeah. And it was what, like $250 a person or something. Plus, you have to have insurance. You have to have your own insurance because they don't want to be held responsible in case that you would have an accident. And I don't have insurance or anything like that. So, and they won't let you sign a waiver. Most places will let you sign a waiver. So I'll do some more checking into it. Now, I'd like to go to Pennhurst. I think that would be a really good one. And I was telling them Bobby Mackey's, they're getting ready to tear that down. So if anybody's interested in going to Bobby Mackey's, they should do it pretty soon because they're definitely thinking about tearing that one down. And that was a really interesting place with a lot of history, a lot of different things were in that facility. And I was telling them about the house that's in the basement that they ended up building right around it. And you can walk through and see the doors, the windows, and even wallpaper on the walls. But, I don't know what they're going to do, if they're going to build it back or what they're going to do. Yeah, I'd like to take you there. You can actually pull up on YouTube the possession of Carl at Bobby Mackey's. He was one of the employees that worked there. He stayed there for like 13 years. He had an apartment and he apparently got possessed. And there's an actual video where they have the priest doing the exorcism right there in the bar. And you can pull that up and watch that on YouTube. And it's the possession of Carl. And I can't remember. I think the spirit's name was Charlie that possessed him. And it was so bad that he felt that he needed an exorcism. And they actually brought a priest in and it was videoed. And you can find that on YouTube. Yeah. And it's definitely, it's scary when you're watching it because you can tell that you can hear the voice changes in Carl, and the priest sits there, they're at a table. And I think the demon or spirit that took him over was named Charlie. And you can pull it up on YouTube and watch it. But it's a possession of Carl at Bobby Mackey's, and then the exorcism. Well, good morning, Luke. Good to see you again. How are you doing this morning? This is my daughter coming in talking. She's on her way to work this morning, and she's seen me pop on. She's wanting to go investigating soon. So we're talking about a few places that I'd like to go. Now there is it's a inn that's here in Ohio. And I was thinking about checking into it, but it's actually a mansion, I believe is what it is. And I don't think they've been open very long. And they're allowing people now to come into it. So I was thinking about checking into it. Now, Bobby Mackey's is in Wilder, Kentucky. So we'll have to go into Kentucky for that one. And like I said, I'm not sure how long it's going to stay open. I do know they're talking about tearing it down, so I'll have to call and check it out. But yeah, we were there with a group. I'd like to just go with a few people because with the group, there was so much noise contamination that I couldn't even really put a whole lot of video on my channel because of the noise contamination. There was people talking and you could hear people walking and different things. So I can only put a few things on there basically showing that I was there. And what's that old saying? I was there, done that, bought a t-shirt. Yeah, we got the t-shirts and hoodies, from Bobby Mackey's. So those are definitely going to be a keepsake. I think mine said we partied with the ghost of Bobby Mackey's. So, and I think the other ones are just, the hoodies might have just been Bobby Mackey's. But yeah, those are definitely keepsake. Good to see you too. And hello, Melissa. It's almost evening here. So I almost done my rounds. Almost done my around the house things. Oh, good. It's morning here. It's so bright and sunny. I told my daughter I'm having coffee, and even my coffee cup needs sunglasses. It's so much sun this morning. It's bright. It's going to be really, really hot. This is my daughter. I don't know if you were here the other day when I was talking about how I love to take my daughter with me on investigations because she's so funny, and she don't even try to be. She tries to be so serious. We were at a graveyard, and she's videoing, and she just starts walking down over the hill, and she's like, oopsie, oopsie. She starts going over the hill, and then we're at a river, and it's a really deep river with barges, and she's walking backwards, and oopsie, almost went in the river. So yeah, Melissa's definitely ready to go on some investigations, try out some new equipment, because we got a bunch of new equipment too that she hasn't got to try out. So I think she's wanting to try out some of that new equipment. Definitely. It's going to be a good time. I'd like to see at some point where our granddaughter, your daughter, can join us at some point. I think she would really like it. But I'm excited for that. Yeah, and you do such a good job videoing too. You catch a lot of stuff, that I don't know, you must just have an eye for it. And I was telling everybody that with the SC session, you can do really good because you hear really, really well. And with me being around so much loud equipment and stuff, I can't really hear. But you do an amazing job with the SDs. When we do the SDs, you can hear very, very well. Now, me, I just hear a lot of static, and it's irritating, because I just can't get it. I think she would too. Yeah, I really think that my granddaughter would like it because she definitely is. I believe she's sensitive as well. I know I'm sensitive. I know my daughter is sensitive. And I'm almost positive my granddaughter is sensitive as well. And we pick up on some things that other people may not pick up on. And what's good about it is I may sense something and no one else does, or my daughter will sense something, and so it all works together, and then we can try to debunk it. Is it just, the atmosphere, or is it really, something that's affecting us? So yeah, I think it would be a good time. I'd like to go someplace where we can take the camper and just stay, for like a couple of days and do a really thorough investigation. I think that would be amazing because we could have the camper. We could just, when we got tired, we could go in, take a break. I think that would be really, really nice because that way we wouldn't feel rushed if we needed to just leave cameras set up and then just walk away and just leave everything rolling. That would be nice. I think so too, because the camper is really big and roomy, and we can fix meals in there. It has AC, heat, it's a beautiful camper with plenty of room. And yeah, I think that would be really nice because then we wouldn't feel as rushed, or I don't know. I like to have a place where I can just let things run and not have any interference, and we could actually do that and then just walk away. And even with some of the, if there is enough signal, we may even be able to do like the baby monitor where that has the video, or we can just set up the camera and then take the monitor in with us, which is about the size of a cell phone. And you can just sit there and watch everything and actually video your monitor, because mine don't actually record. So I'd have to record the monitor as it's catching it live. And then that way there's no one in the building, and whatever's happening would be happening that, real time. But I don't know how much signal or Wi-Fi service they would have there. So, I mean, all that would be interested to add, to it. So Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to a really good summer. I'm almost at work, Mama. You have a wonderful day, and I love you so much. Yes, those baby monitors are great. Yes, they are. They are um, so clear. Night vision, heat. It has a temperature, um, motion sensor. You can 360 them. So yeah, I think they are just absolutely amazing. And you can even talk back and forth, through the monitor. So you could ask questions and then see if you get a response and see if you record a response. So I think that would be really, really interesting. But yeah, definitely. We'll get some stuff set up, get ready for an interesting summer. Just, I don't like bats. Afraid of bats. All this hair, I'll have to tie it up or braid it and do something because definitely don't want a bat getting mixed up in this long hair. And I'm just really careful about summer because I don't want to get snakes. You've got all that out. So I want to be really careful where we choose to go. But yeah, I think it would be take the camper and find a place where we can go and, spend a day or two and just take our time and enjoy it and get taking some scenery and do an investigation. So I think that would be wonderful. I know there's a lot of state parks, and some of them have a lot of history. Some of them have paranormal history, and I think that would be maybe interesting to choose like a state park where you can go and stay and set up the camper and then go and just check out all the areas that have paranormal history on them. I am here. I'll talk to you later on. I love you. I love you too, sweetheart. Mwah. You have a good day, honey. You have a wonderful day. I have one daughter and she's so amazing. So amazing. I'm just so blessed. But yeah, I just thought I'd come on here and let everybody know what's going on. The blueberries are still coming on. I froze 4-quart freezer bags, and I have picked 2 quarts again yesterday. They're still ripening. They're not ready yet to be frozen, so I'm going to definitely have to start dehydrating some. And then, of course, I'm going to have to save some for my daughter. She's my blueberry girl. She loves the blueberries. So, but definitely everything's going better. My spirits are up. I didn't light my candle today. I'm slipping. I guess there's so much sunshine, I didn't even think about lighting my candle. What's the temperature here? It is, let me see. I know it's supposed to be in the high 80s today. It's 75 right now. It's supposed to be 88. It's supposed to be like that all weekend. Sunday 93, Monday 97, Tuesday 99, Wednesday 99. So it's going to be a really hot week that we have coming up. What's your temperature there? 98 here, and we are melting. I can imagine. I was going to go out on my deck this morning and do this, but there was so much sunshine. I was afraid I couldn't see the computer screen. So I thought I would just do it here in the house. I don't mind here going out early in the morning and then later in the evening, but I don't really have a lot of shade where I'm at. We put up a gazebo, so we have, the gazebo shade, but on the deck, but we haven't got our roof over our deck yet. It's a big deck. So I think it's like a 16 about 20, and we have our hot tub out there. And we were thinking about changing out our hot tub. We're not sure if we want to go with a smaller one or get one the same size. So we kind of held off on putting the roof over until we get the new hot tub if we're getting it put in, because that's going to be a lot of work to maneuver around. So right now we just put up a real nice gazebo, and it has rain curtains and everything. So it's really nice. And then I have it set up, decorated like an island. It's Tammy's little island. I have the hot tub and the bar and a love seat area. And then I have a little garden area with my herbs and some rocking chairs and a fire pit. So it's very nice, very nice. But it's very hot because there, like I said, there's no shade other than the gazebo right now. But the temperature, and there's not a whole lot of breeze where I'm at. You would think where I'm at there'd be more breeze, but there's not. You can see the Ohio River, but there's no breeze. It's just like the air just sets. Now, where I'm from in West Virginia, there was always a nice breeze. Well, I bought some curtains for my balcony, new green ones. Oh, wow, greenish ones. Now we have like the whole thing is done in like privacy. You know, it's all done like in a metal wrap all the way around my deck. So I have walls all the way around. And we were going to go ahead and put up the metal roof. And then we started talking about the hot tub. And the one we have it's really, really nice, but it's big. So I'm not really sure what we're going to do there yet. And I love the gazebo because it has dark brown. They're like rain curtains, and then there has a screen if you want to use the screen. And it's really like a thick canvas, so it definitely blocks the sunshine or blocks the rain. But if there's no airflow in there, it's a little bit warm. So I like early mornings and then in the evenings when it starts to cool off a little bit. And I don't know, I'm not quite set up out there yet. My husband's still running some power because we had to run all the power. And then he decided he didn't want the power in this area. He's moving it to that area. And he's very creative, and he's very, very picky. So everything has to be just perfect, because he was a certified electrician. And then our home only had a water garden hose faucet on one side. You need some vents with water flow. Yeah, definitely. He's going to, whenever we get done with the hot tub and the power and get the roof on, of course, it'll have open vented areas where you can get, airflow. And then he also put windows in. So we've got windows, if I want airflow, I can open the windows and get a nice cross breeze. And then we have some of the stand-up fans, so that helps to circulate all the air out there. So mornings and evenings are really nice, but here, it's just, some days it's like 100 or higher degrees during the day, and with no shade, that's just too hot. For me, that's too hot. Now, if we're out moving and doing stuff, it's not so bad, but if you're just like sitting there, it gets a little bit warm. So I've just never been around a lot of heat until I moved to Ohio. In West Virginia, we're up in the mountains, and it was up around Blackwater Falls and Canaan Valley. So the elevation is really, really high, and there's always a breeze, always. Even my husband, the first time he went to my hometown, he said, "Does the breeze ever stop here? Does the wind ever quit?" So when I moved to Ohio, I kept asking him, where's the breeze? Because I was so used to a breeze. And maybe that's why the weather bothers me. But I've been down here now for about 14 years in Ohio. And we're both getting ready to retire. Well, right now I'm disabled. He's disabled. But I think we'd like to get a home, build like a cabin in the woods, get a small area up and back home in West Virginia just for retirement, to have a place to go. But all his family and everything's here from Ohio. His job was in Ohio, so that's why we stayed in Ohio. But now we're both looking toward retirement time and enjoying, some quiet evenings. And I think we've been looking at 2 or 3 different areas in West Virginia. So that would be really nice. I'd like to have a cabin in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere. It wouldn't even have to have power. I could just go completely off grid and be happy. But everything's getting better. Me, spiritually better. Adjusting better without Rebel, my beautiful dog. Still lonely. I still catch myself. I'll get ready to do something and realize that he's not here with me. Sounds good. Oh, it's so beautiful in West Virginia. The mountains, especially in the fall of the year, it just looks like God just took a paintbrush and was an artist and just painted those beautiful, beautiful mountains and all the beautiful colors. Fall is my favorite time of the year. And I think that's why, being raised in the mountains and all the beautiful colors and beautiful. We went up to West Virginia. We had our camper at my sister's last year, and we were up there back and forth a good bit. And my husband just loved it. He said, this is just so beautiful. What a beautiful area. So I think I might be winning him over. I think he, definitely wants to try and have, a getaway place. So I'd enjoy that. But I don't know what my plans are for the rest of the day. Yesterday, I did my vehicle. I did all the detailing and got it all cleaned and everything inside and went to the car wash and got all that done. And I think all the plants should be out at my local landscaping and flower place. So I think I might go pick up a few more herbs from my herb garden and maybe some tomato plants and maybe some green pepper plants. I might do that this afternoon. And I'm not sure if they have any. I love to go to like the old like hobby shops and different things like that, but I'm not really sure what all is going to be open this afternoon. So that's what I think I'm going to get into this afternoon. And then get my little garden set up on my deck. I love going out and getting a fresh tomato or a fresh pepper and green pepper. So I think I might do that. Last year I tried to do the cucumbers, but I think my deck was just too hot and they just didn't do very well. But the green peppers did good. The tomatoes did really good. That is nice. I only have orchards. Wow. Do you have, do you do a lot of preserving with your orchards, like apples and stuff like that? Because I love to can, bake, can, preserve, dehydrate. I'm into all of that. And my husband said whenever we do find a place and get everything set up, he wants a small little fruit orchard. He wants apple trees and peach and pear and cherry and, different fruit trees. And then, of course, our blueberries. He always has, no matter where I go, he plants me blueberry bushes. So I think, like I said, I've got 4 quarts quart bags frozen. I just picked 2 more quarts yesterday, and they are just loaded. So I want to dehydrate a few of them, but you have to freeze them first because I think blueberries are like 80% water. So they suggest that you freeze them before you dehydrate them. So, and they only have 2 bushes, and they're still loaded. And so I picked some more yesterday. Orchards are very picky. Yes, they are. I would love to have, whenever we do get a place, have a little garden. I miss gardening. Um, I had a place out in the country for like 11 years, 12 years, and I didn't have a very big garden, but that land was just so rich and it produced, I had so many green beans that I canned, I think it was like 50 quarts of green beans. I gave green beans to my neighbors. I mean, they just kept coming on. They were the bushes, bush, green beans. I think it was a bush bean. And I'm telling you, there was no strings. They were beautiful, beautiful beans. And I miss that because I used to love going out in the garden and working in the garden. It was so fulfilling. When I was growing up, I used to love to go to grandma's because she always had a garden. And I used to listen to her hum. She would hum and sing in the garden while she worked. And I could not wait to go up and spend summer weeks, at a time with my grandmother. And we'd work in the garden, and I just loved it. And then my family had my uncle had a large dairy farm. So he had a lot of dairy cattle, and he had gardens. And up on top of the one field, it was like a potato field. It wasn't a potato garden, it was fields of potatoes. So we were always working in a garden, and I just love it. I just love working in a garden. It's just so fulfilling whenever you go out and you plant it and you watch it grow, and then you go out and harvest everything, and then you start preserving it, and it's just so fulfilling, just to watch everything, go through the process. And then in the middle of the winter, when it's really, really cold, you go in and get a can of your preserved, product and bring it out, and it's so rewarding. I guess I'm just old school. Very old school. But yeah, I'm adjusting, and the silence is still the hardest, being without Rebel, because he was always such a busy little fellow. He wanted to do this or do that. And, it wasn't that he was needy, but he was always your shadow. No matter what you were doing, he was right there. If you wanted to go for a walk, he was ready. If you wanted to take a nap, he was ready. If you just wanted to, hang out in the camper and go camping, he was ready. Go for a ride on the Harley. I mean, no matter what you were ready to do, that little fellow was just ready. I'm ready to go. Let's do this. So yeah, it's like I definitely am missing. I'm missing him really bad. I mean, it's an adjustment, big adjustment, and but every day it's getting better. My cat is adjusting better. She or he didn't know what to think. I don't think so, but houses are pretty expensive in here. I want a traditional old house, but maybe one day when I win the lottery. Yes, houses are very expensive. And my husband and I, whenever we do build a place, if we do it in West Virginia, we just want it to be like a a log cabin. Um, Both of us even said we didn't even have to be on the grid. I mean, I think I would probably be happy just being back in the middle of nowhere with no power, no phones, no internet, just because I think you enjoy nature more if you don't have any distractions like that. And we love nature. Both of us just love just to go out and walk and just enjoy it. And I mean, I take in everything, the smell of the forest, the area that you're in. I mean, it's just like fall. I mean, I love the smell of fall. And people said, what do you mean the smell of fall? And I mean, the smell is, I love it. If I could capture that and keep it all year, I would. But the home that we're in now, when we bought it, it really needed remodeled. And we were both working. So we really were, we weren't home that much, just in the evenings in bed. And I mean, we worked 10, 12-hour days. We were constantly busy. And we knew that this place needed remodeled, but we just held off. And then we just slowly started remodeling. I guess it was in the middle of the winter. And I hate remodeling. I'd rather build from the ground up because everything gets moved around and you can't find anything. But we're remodeling from one end to the other. That's why I have the green screen behind me. We've got trim down, and like in the kitchen, we got the new sink. Oh, I love the new sink. It's a big one bowl sink, restaurant style sink. I love it. Got rid of the 2 bowl. Then we put in the new dishwasher. The range is really, really, I like it. It has the griddle on top. Everything's cast iron on top. And I love that. It's the other one we had was just the regular gas stove, and this one has so many more features. So we got all of those put in, got the island put in. We got some cabinets put in. All the new flooring put in the kitchen. So, I mean, it's just a process. And until we can get it from one end to the other, we're just, it's just the two of us. So we're just moving things around as we need to. And I started laughing the other day because I have a big flat screen television on top of my fireplace. And then I have another flat screen television and a large box in front of my fireplace. It's like, and my husband says, thank you for being so patient, and I said, well, it just takes time. And if we're going from one end to the other, because eventually we'll probably sell, this place and then, just have a place to go and retire and enjoy life and just kick back and relax. So we won't at that point need this place. So we're just updating everything, getting everything, refreshed and new. And it just takes time. And we just work on it as we have time. And with me having disabilities, there's a lot that I can't help him with. And with him having disabilities, he has to get someone to come help him because he can't do it. So, it's going to take time. But hey, I'm in for it. I'm in for the long haul. Oh. So have you made plans for summer? Anybody got plans? I know we're going to do a lot of camping this summer, breaking that camper in. I mean, it's like new. We've only used it a couple of times, so we definitely want to break the new camper in. And I was thinking about state parks, visiting some of our state parks. I'll work this summer. Oh my, the entire summer. Oh goodness. Well, hopefully you'll have some time to take a little vacation. Everybody needs a little vacation, a little me time. We definitely want to do some camping and stuff. And I like to do a little bit of traveling. And my husband loves kayaks and canoes. And I'm not much of a water person. I went through the 1985 flood, and where I was at, I mean, it flooded our whole entire town. And we were living in a 2-story home. We were renting it, and the water was up to the middle of the windows on the second story. The house came completely off ground or off foundation and hit a tree and basically split the house, and the garage was in someone else's yard. So I'm not much for water. My ghost came back yesterday on my PC. It's a book. What did it do? Was it just interfering with you? They'll do that. They like electronics, any kind of electronics, because I really feel that they need energy, and anything that has energy, they're drawn to it. I mean, that's a fact. They really are. They'll drain batteries. A lot of static. You may get static interference, even audio interference on your cameras whenever those surges of energies come. And that's what I said. Really, spirits are, to me, and in my opinion, energy, and they're a form of energy. And they almost come in waves. It's not like they're constant, but like they come in waves. But I've noticed a lot of times when I'll have any type of activity, even if I'm recording it, I'll have audio interference. And on the camcorder, well, it has energy, but sure doesn't speak in the right place. I recorded it around 40 minutes. Did you catch any voices or any strange sounds, whistling or knocking, or because a lot of times they won't talk, but they can cause a static interference. I've caught whistles, I mean, really, really loud whistles, or a knock, and movement, or orbs, really bright. And it's not your regular orb that you would see, because dust, a lot of people can see dust and think that it's orbs, but the dust looks more almost like it's snowing or raining. But the orbs that I really pay attention to is something that's going to have to be really, really bright. Some of them even have like a tail, with them. And we actually caught some orbs, and it didn't look right. Something just didn't look right in the orb. And when you enlarged it, there was a very, very distinctive, almost gargoyle-looking face. You could see the teeth. I mean, you could see that it looked almost like a gargoyle in the inside of the orb. And it was almost reflecting colors, like multi-different colors, like a spectrum of colors. And I think I put that on another channel that I had. I'm pretty sure I kept those orbs, and I shared them. Hard breathing, very clear, again, gasping for air and words. But I need to use my earbuds to hear exactly what he said. Yeah, earbuds, a good set of headphones that are noise canceling headphones are really, really good. Now, a lot of times I'll have to run it through like an editing software in order to get it loud enough to where I can pick it up, because I have a hard time with certain tones because of working around heavy equipment, loud noise. I don't really have real good hearing. I've lost a lot of my hearing because of that. Now my daughter, she can pick up any little noise. I mean, her hearing is amazing. And like last summer when I was at my sister's, her hearing is absolutely amazing. I think she could hear someone whisper, across her yard. Her hearing is so good. and she actually goes hunting. And she said there's times that she has to put her hands over her ears because she hears too good, and she has to try and block off some of the noise in the woods. But now me, I'm not that lucky. I mean, my hearing is, I definitely have to have a headset, something that's really good, either earbuds or noise canceling, headphones, because I can't really pick it up. And then I have, like I said, I have to try and get it enhanced as much as I can. So if I think I've picked up something, then I'll let my daughter or my husband get back over it because, just to see what they think of it. But now they don't even need it on a editing video or editing software. They can pick it up. And my husband's worked around a lot of heavy equipment, so he has some hearing loss, but he hears better, I think, than I do. I think I only have like 20% hearing in one ear, so that affects me because I can't. I have to try and adjust with the other ear to try and pick it up. So I have a big problem with that. Now, do you work with electronic equipment or in that field, or no? Is that not your field of work? Because if it is, you may be able to pick up things at work as well. I had some Sony earbuds, very good ones, but I lost the charger for them in a cab. Oh, goodness. And they probably are not going to return that. Someone probably scooped that right up. You don't have very many honest people anymore. Yes, I do work from my PC and laptop. That may be why you're picking up so much, because you're spending a lot of time working on electronic, equipment, your laptop, your PC, and you're probably, constantly have headphones in. So you would probably be noticing more than most people would, because you're constantly in that, in that realm, making it easier, I think, for you to have something that would be interfering with it, So yeah, if you have a ghost or a spirit there, it's definitely probably going to mess with you more frequently than most people would have that happen. Unfortunately, yeah. I've noticed a lot of my recordings, I'll pick up stuff on the recording and I'm thinking to myself, well, there was no one talking, there was no one here. Where did that come from? How did that happen? So it's amazing, what equipment can pick up that you're that you do not hear in real time, if that makes sense. But my daughter, like I said, she's really good, and she picks up a lot of noise, and she just cannot wait. She's anxious. She's wanting to go on some investigations, and then I got some new equipment. She loves to play with new equipment, new toys. And the one place we wanted to go, we were so shocked. You have to have at least 10 people, and then you also have to have insurance. You have to have your own insurance, so you can't even go on their property unless you have your own private insurance. And I told her, I said, most places will let you do a waiver. I don't know if I want to go out and invest in insurance just to be able to go on a couple investigations. Well, for me, it's always some kind of activity. My house is not haunted, but I have a huge antenna near me. One of them, the tallest in Europe, and I think it has an influence. Yes, that makes a lot of sense. A lot of feedback. You're getting a lot of, yes, I mean, I would have to agree with that. You're probably definitely going to pick up a lot of radio waves and electronic interference, definitely. Yeah, and a lot of people will hear stuff like that and they really don't understand that it's not a spirit or it's not a ghost in their home. And the more that you can educate people, and help them to understand that, um, yes, the paranormal can react and interact with radio waves, but a lot of the stuff that you're hearing is no more than just, you know, interference, feedback from something that's close to them, like walkie-talkies. The old baby monitors, people used to have a lot of voices and stuff coming through their baby monitor, and it would freak them out. And it was nothing more than they were actually getting feedback from maybe someone else that also had baby monitors or walkie-talkies or something like that, and it was feeding back in on their baby monitors. Now the newer ones, I don't think they're like that. At least the system I picked up, which mine's I think it's a VTech, and it's the camera's got like a 360, and you can maneuver it around, and then you've got the little monitor, which is about the size of a cell phone that you can carry around. And even my phone, I can load it onto my phone, but mine does not record. But I've never gotten any feedback of any kind from anybody close to me or around me. So I really like that system. The only thing I wish it did have an SD card that you could record if you wanted to record. So if I use them and want to record, I have to set a camcorder up and actually record it, in real time. Just like when I had that shadow walking back and forth. Every time I try to get my camera set up, because I'd see it on the monitor, I think that knew that I was going to try and get it, and it would quit. And as soon as I put everything away, it would come back out again. So it would have been nice if I would have had that particular camera system. I think maybe you can now get them in the VTech that has the SD card. And I think I'd like to invest in that because I really like the system I have. In my area is a handmade reservoir. It used to be a graveyard in that place. They said they never removed the remains, they just built over it. Really? Oh, wow. I'm afraid of camera. No, no, no. Oh, I like the VTech system that I did pick up, and what I like about it is if I go somewhere and I have to be there overnight, and I have my cat home, I can actually put it on my phone, and then take those cameras and do a 360, check on everything in the home, see what's going on, so I can actually monitor my home from my phone. So I like the system. Now, I think the newer ones, like I said, do have the SD card and the ability to record. But I really like them because I'm maybe overprotective of my animals. And even though it's only my cat, I definitely want to keep an eye on my cat and also my home if I'm not there. So that way I know that anytime I want to just pull it up and look at it. Now, on my phone, I can record the cameras, but I cannot record on the actual camera system that I have, because it's just basically set up for monitoring overnight or something like that. It's not your regular camera system. This is like something if I wanted to take it out on a site, then I could actually use it on site, set the camera up inside the facility or building, and then go to my vehicle and then have the monitor and actually set up a camcorder and record it. And that way I've got real time what's going on in that particular facility or building, even if I'm not in there. I can record it. So that's basically what I purchased those for. And then I have the trail cams as well. And I really like the trail cams, Yeah, I need to buy one too. We have a feeling tomcat and someone is stealing his food. Aw, it's probably either a raccoon or a possum. That's what I caught. We had a cat that was coming in around and we put out food and something kept taking the food. And it was this coon and it was a raccoon. It was gigantic, gigantic. And then when he wasn't visiting, a little possum was coming. So apparently raccoons and possums love cat food. Apparently that is a very good treat for them because they were coming in. So we had to set up a time that whenever the cat came in, I'd allow the cat to come into the house and get its food. And that way I knew that there was no raccoons or possums or anything. Because with my dog, I didn't want anything coming around like that that could possibly be carrying rabies or anything like that. So not only was I protecting the cat and the cat's food, but also, making sure Rebel was safe as well. Oh, what? No, not in my area. It's a human. We only have foxes. I live in the big city. Oh, wow. No raccoons, and even in the city? Because a lot of times, if there's a dumpster, raccoons will visit that dumpster. Um, they're very notorious for that. We even had a black bear. One morning I went out, was going to go to the dumpster they had and put my trash in, and it was just starting to get daylight. And I seen something and I thought, what on earth is that? Something just didn't look right. It was still, not daylight yet. And there was a huge black bear and he had a bag of trash. He was sitting on the ground. He had the bag of trash between his legs and his little feet were up in the air like this. And he would reach into that bag and take out something and smell it and then toss it over his shoulder if he didn't want it. And his little feet were just wiggling back and forth and back and forth. It was adorable, but it was, if I had not been cautious, I would have walked up on that black bear. And I think that, that wouldn't have been good because it would have startled him and he was eating. So, and this was not really that far out of town. We were just right on the edge of town. So I wasn't expecting that. 3 million. Oh my goodness. I've never seen a raccoon in my life. Oh, really? Never. Wow. Oh, they're notorious here. Raccoons, possums, and then coyotes. We have coyotes and fox, raccoons, possums, bobcats, mountain lions, and black bears. So we have a variety, of wildlife, and they will come in if there's like an area where there's a lot of people and there's a dumpster where everybody has a community dumpster where they take their trash and then it's all picked up. And they'll even actually come in if you have trash cans and you have to make sure that you have them properly sealed and stuff because they will get into them. They are notorious here. They're just a pest, a big pest. And we did a lot of live trapping and would live trap them and then take them a little bit further out of town and let them go, the raccoons. And that way they were not being so notorious there. So we would, we'd do it humanely and do a live trap and then take them out into the forest and turn them loose in the forest. And hopefully that way they would not be a pest, someone wouldn't take matters into their own hands. And we had a mother and some babies, and we put out live traps and caught the mother and babies, and we moved them to a safe place, out in the woods and the forest, and moved them out, farther away from town to give them a chance, to grow up naturally and not depend on people food and not become a nuisance. So, because a lot of wildlife in our area, as long as you live trap it and you do it correctly. I think it's more preventative, and it's safer for the animal itself. So that's why we did that. Now, if it was something big, of course, I would call, wildlife and resources and have them to come in. Bears, it depends on whether it's just one incident or not, but if you have several incidences, then you can report it to them and they'll come in and take care of that. If it's something big, like a bear. We have birds and birds of prey. One tried to grab my Eva, the dog, one night. Oh my goodness. What, an eagle or a hawk? And they say eagles will come in and do that. Small dogs, a hawk, an eagle. We had chickens, and we had to be really careful with the chickens because the hawks would come in. And now we have, I think we have bald eagle and golden eagles in our area. And they will definitely come in if there's chickens out or a small animal out, they'll come in and pick it right up. Yeah. But they're beautiful. I mean, I actually got to see several of the bald eagles in our area and a couple of the golden eagles. They're beautiful. We have a type of owl in here. It's called they are big. Wow. I'll have to look that up. They attack humans too at night. Wow, I'm gonna have to check that out. We have barn owls and screech owls, I think, is the only thing that we have in our area. Now, West Virginia has the Point Pleasant. West Virginia has the Mothman, the cryptid that they supposedly seen that was like a man and had wings, but they called it the Mothman, and it supposedly come out at night and had big red eyes and all that. I've driven through Point Pleasant, but I've never got to go investigate that area. But you can look that up, Point Pleasant, West Virginia, the Mothman. And it's, I guess there were several sightings. And then after that happened, there was a bridge collapse. You know that legend? Okay, yeah. Yeah. And they're trying to say that it was a owl, because owls have red eyes. And they're trying to say that it was a herring, like a blue herring. But people kept saying no. They were born and raised in West Virginia. They know all the animals. I think it's a Reaper. Reaper. I'm sorry, I had to laugh, but I was watching another creator, and he was doing a reaction to someone doing some paranormal investigation, and the Reaper was brought up, and he makes it sound so funny. And now I think he even has a t-shirt with the logo, the Reaper. But apparently that was supposed to have been some kind of a warning, because they said they seen it on that bridge, and then shortly after that, that bridge collapsed, and all those people were lost in their vehicles in the river. And it was, yeah. So they're saying that it was a warning. That's why he was supposedly there, and that they had seen him on that bridge, and he was there basically to let people know that something was going to happen. Now, do I believe in that? I believe it's possible. I really don't think that close to, 100 people seen him and, gave their account of what happened to them, where they seen this Mothman and all that. And I don't think 100 people are going to come up with, just a story, because I really don't think they wanted the publicity or anything like that. So I really, in my opinion, is it possible? And it's my opinion. I really think that, yes, it is possible. They say in here that always you can somehow see them before tragedies. Exactly. And I've heard that even, well, there was another one. I can't remember what it was. I can't remember the place. I'll have to go back and look at all of my research. But when I was doing research on the Mothman, it was giving other examples, basically stating the same thing, that they felt that this was a warning that a tragedy was coming, and that's why they were there. And so I do, in my opinion, do I believe it? Yes, I do. I don't think that's far-fetched. There's nothing to prove it different, in my opinion. And that's like people say, do you really believe in Bigfoot? I do. I mean, I really think that there's no way that people have as much evidence as they have on Bigfoot. And it's just not one area. I mean, this is multiple areas, and even, not just one state, multiple states. And even if you look at the cave, in the caves, at the drawings, there's depictions of this big, huge, hairy person. The Romanian people are into a lot of mass vampires. Yes, I can understand that, like whenever I was researching Vlad, the Impaler, and I started really researching and getting a lot of documentary and stuff on that. But yeah, I mean, I can understand, that there is a lot of myths. And you look at Salem, the Salem witch trials, the hysteria and the many, many people that affected. So, yes, things like that. Yeah. Yes, I agree. I mean, I don't know why. I mean, I hate to see that tragedy comes from it. Hopefully we can learn from those tragedies and not let it be repeated. Vlad was crazy. The legend has different roots. Yeah, and that's what I was running into. But the things that he did, I mean, I can understand that he thought it would help protect them, and that it would cause fear, in my opinion, and it did. It definitely did. But the lengths that he went to in some of the research that I've done is just, it's horrific. It's so horrific. And, but yeah, if you think about it, most legends, something had to have happened for some myth or legend, or, it wouldn't continue. He used to impel the thieves and ours while they were alive. Yes. I mean, it's horrific, I mean, I'm glad that we now have our legal system that we have. And, but I mean, I could not even imagine, but yeah, when you start doing research, you can really if you go heavy enough, you can really definitely get into some gruesome stuff, in my opinion. But I think also that if you read it and you understand, what happened, maybe it won't be repeated, hopefully. But I do believe that with any legend or myth, something had to have happened. There has to be something. And if you can go far enough back and research, you're probably going to track it, in my opinion. Maybe come close to finding out, what happened, why is this myth or this, why? Why are people so afraid of this particular thing? Did something really happen? Was it something natural? Was it something paranormal? But the last case of some people going after the Lord, that is someone undead, was in 2001. And is it all documented? Is there some documentary that I'm like a sponge. I love to research. That's like a lot of the books that I picked up. Actually, I was going to put those on here today. Bring those up. Let me step over and go get. And I am a researcher, so I like when I go into some place, like I said, to do an investigation. I do so much investigating before I ever even go investigating. They were arrested and they went in the graveyard at night, put a stick into the heart of the. It was in newspapers. Wow. At our local, we have a local shop that has like newspapers and different things like that. And it has these books that you can pick up. And these are so well put together. It has maps. It has all the history information, that particular area that you may be wanting to go check out. Like I was doing some research on some of the underground railroads in our area. And these are like really, and I mean, so well and put together, informative. And the photos are good. Everything's black and white, but it pretty well gives you a lot of the history for that particular area. So that's what I love it. I love the detail, the time that they literally put into putting this together. But I mean, it is just, I like it. I like, the person that actually took the time, did all the research. And this to me is another tool that that I can use. That's like here, we were talking about Point Pleasant. They also have one on Point Pleasant. So if you're wanting to go to Point Pleasant and investigate, this gives you a lot of information about the area, what happened, how it happened, everything that led up to the incident. And it goes it doesn't just focus on the Mothman. This is the complete history of that particular area. Like Point Pleasant. So it helps you get a better understanding of the area that you're going into, you know. So I like this. This author does an absolutely wonderful job, and they're a little expensive, but very, very informative. It kind of does look like a Wikipedia, but it's what they've done is they've actually went back and they've got, like, I mean, everything that you can think of. They've got, like, floods, when it flooded the area. So basically it's like going back to all the articles that were ever written on this particular town, all the information, all the history, and each one of them were broken up into, like, this one's just Point Pleasant. I was talking about the West Virginia Penitentiary. This explains everything on that particular penitentiary that we were talking about the other day in Alive. And it explains when it was opened, how it was ran, how the prisoners, you know, built the actual prison, why it was built in a Gothic era, you know, was for intimidation. I will paste from that one, February 2004 one. Claimed that she had been visited by her late uncle. Oh, okay. Wow. Yeah, but this one really, you know, we were talking about the prison, and I had actually went there, but my daughter had not. And she actually sat down and started reading some of the information in this book. And she said, I like the way they did this, because it's like everything that you could think of, you know, to do with that particular thing that you're wanting to go investigate. So this is the way I investigate. I really, really go in, you know, try and find as much as I can. And as you can tell, I've got multiple areas. And it's very informative. I'm running in there. Just share, sharing the deceased. The woman's brother organized a vampire hunting group made of several family members. After drinking some alcohol, they dug up the coffin. Oh my heavens. And toward the chest, his heart. Oh my heavens. I must watch that stream. I think I missed it. Oh, the one on the penitentiary. Is that the one you're talking about? We just basically were talking about some places that we wanted to go and investigate. And I had already done a years and years ago, before I even started going into the paranormal, we did a visit and done a tour through there. And I was trying to find a picture here, if I can find one of the actual building. But it looks so Gothic. There. And they wanted it done in this Gothic style, so that every prisoner, when they actually entered the gates, that they would basically feel that, and it would be intimidating. So, yeah, and it's very informative. It was one of the worst prisons for the worst of the worst. Yeah, it almost has like a castle type uh, Gothic. Uh, but it explains exactly why they did it that way and how they started the prison, um, how the prisoners actually uh, built that prison. The prisoners did. And here's one that's more up close. It almost looks like a castle in a way. Trying to get that where you can not have so much glare. But they definitely wanted it to be intimidating. And I think they got their point across. But yeah, it's in Moundsville, West Virginia. If you want to pull up a photo of it, it's it says Moundsville, West Virginia is the home of the imposing and grandiose West Virginia Penitentiary. The penitentiary was modeled after the prison at Joliet, Illinois, decorated in a castle Gothic architectural style. The turrets and the battlements give the penitentiary the appearance of a castle. However, the penitentiary certainly is not a place one would read about in a fairy tale. With the intention to punish inmates for their crimes, the penitentiary employed methods of punishment that would be considered barbaric by today's standards. Yes, very, very informative. But yeah, I can go to my local, they have, like I said, newspapers and a lot of maps, and they have these on quite a few of the places that we went to or that we wanted to go investigate. And like I said, I had done a walkthrough years ago and done a tour, but this was actually established in 1863. And then they say the construction began July 1866. And they also had the gallows in this prison, and it tells you about the gallows. And then they went from the gallows to the electric chair. And like I said, some of the punishments they done nowadays would be considered very barbaric, very inhumane. They were cruel. The prisoners were the worst of the worst. They had multiple riots. Yeah, I mean it's definitely a very sad place. And I told my husband and my daughter if they wanted to go back that we could. I think I saw a doc about this prison on paranormal channels. Yeah, a lot of paranormal channels have went to this prison, and it was hard for me because I'm sensitive, and it is such a heavy feeling when you go in there, and intimidating. And they actually, in Moundsville, there's so many Native American Indian burial mounds, and that's why it's called Moundsville, West Virginia. And I'm not too sure that they didn't actually build this penitentiary on what could possibly be some of that burial ground. But I mean, it's just, it has the feeling that you get in there is just something that you don't really want. It's sadness. It's heavy. And I told my daughter and my husband if they wanted to go back that we'd go back and do an investigation. But I try to avoid places where I know there's going to be a lot of tragedy, and that is definitely a place of a lot of tragedy. I know that's why I don't go ghost hunting. You know, I think the reason that I started my channel was to help people that really do have paranormal going on around them to understand that it's okay, you know, to talk about it. It's okay to research it, to document it. And then if you need to, it's okay to get help because there's a lot of people that can help. There are groups that can come out that can verify the paranormal and your evidence by doing their own investigation. And then if they cannot give you the proper help that you need, that they do have contacts and people that they can bring in to help you to deal with the paranormal, you know, because the paranormal is real. And it's sad to see people that do make a mockery of it, because if you are exposed to it and it's not something that you want, you don't need it, you don't understand it. It's sad, you know, that a lot of people will not even come forward because they don't want to be mocked. They don't want to be criticized or, you know, have someone make them feel like they're not mentally okay. And that's why I started my channel, is because of my experiences and what happened with me. And I'm really glad that there is a lot of good paranormal groups that are out there that will um, treat the paranormal with respect. And I think that's what it really needs. It needs to be treated with respect. And it also needs to be treated as something that can bring possible harm, in my opinion. Because if you don't know what you're doing, you can definitely get in over your head. You can actually have something attached to you. And I think that's one reason I started this channel, is because it's okay now to come out and to talk about the paranormal, and people don't think that you have a mental problem and that you need mental help, or that it's a psychological problem. Even I've seen concluded there are more than one dimension. And I believe that. I really do. Because there's so many things that we just cannot explain, in my opinion. You know, it's just my opinion. And that's like some people say Bigfoot is something that's in between dimensions. That's why no one has ever found actual bones, or, you know, any more proof than footprints, you know, that they've made casts from, or sounds, you know, that they're connecting to it. You know, is it possible that maybe even Bigfoot is of a different dimension and that they can come back and forth? I don't know. But do I believe that there is definitely, that Bigfoot is real? Why would they not be? You know, I mean, there's so many vast wilderness areas that don't see any human. You know, what's to say that there isn't something that has been and could survive in those places? So, in my opinion, yeah, you know, they're there. Or they have a different dimension. I don't know. You know, I would love to have more evidence. You know, I'd love for more people, with all the technology we have now. I'm hoping that one day that that will definitely get those answers, the glitches in the matrix. Yeah, exactly. And so, yeah, I do think that maybe there is other realms that we don't know anything about. You know, is there wormholes? Is there black holes? Is there, I mean, we don't know. I mean, look at the ocean. Do you know how much of the ocean we've never even looked at or explored as human beings, you know? So, you know, I'm hoping with all the new technology and as it continues to improve, that we'll find these answers, you know, and bring some conclusion to, you know, is this a myth or is it real, you know? But something had to have started, in my opinion, something had to have started the myth, or there wouldn't be a myth, you know? Somebody had to have seen something. It had to have been recorded either verbally or in like cave art, what I know for sure is that houses and places keep energy of the past. And that I was talking about that the other day. They call that the stone tape theory. And they're saying that certain stones and wood, if a tragedy happened, it can be impacted on that place and be there permanently. Does that mean that that is harmful? Maybe not always. Once a place was contaminated with the dark energy, it's hard to decontaminate. And that's true. That's very true. That's just like the prisons, the jails. The jails are not as bad now. The old jails that are on the historical society that people, paranormal groups do go in and investigate. Back then, they had a lot of uh, negative things happen. But prisons and, anything like that, anything that's had a dark past, I really feel that it's imprinted on that place. And I don't know if they'll ever be able to rid it of that energy, that I think, in my opinion, I think that would probably be a permanent thing. And I'm even wondering, once it's demolished, if it still isn't still there, if it hasn't been imprinted on not only the place, but on the land itself, from bad energy. I mean, these are the things I like to research. These are the things that make me, not stay up at night, but these things that go through my mind, and I'll think, well, there has to be some research. And then I'll try to find a research that backs up that research and a history that backs up that history to try and dig as deep as I can for my own understanding. And hopefully that way I can help others to understand as well. That's why a jail has more that kind of energy than a graveyard. Graveyards are usually peaceful. And that's, in my opinion, that's true. I don't think that a graveyard, to me, is creepy at night. Yes, but I think it should be a place of peace, a place of rest. Crystals can affect us. I mean, it's demonstrated as well. And I don't even remember what I seen the other day. It was just something I came across that said crystals are alive. They're living and they're alive. And you think about a lot of the crystals, they were actually made from material that's been over time and over years and over weather and the process of time itself created. So yeah, I would think that crystals are still alive and have that energy. They're a living thing. And that's just my opinion, but I would have to agree with that. But yeah, they do affect us. Quartz sacrifices itself for the owner. I've heard that. I'd have to do some more research on that because I'm not, in my opinion, educated enough. I've not researched it enough, but I have heard that. And I've also heard people say that they've had a crystal that was used for something, to help bring them peace, or if they were going through something in their life and that particular crystal was used, that one day it just disappeared. They couldn't find it anymore. Now, was that just because they misplaced it, or was that because they didn't need that crystal anymore? I don't understand that enough to go more depth in it. My first one was a pink one, and I used to work in a stress work bank system. And one day the crystal cracked like glass. And that's what I was just saying. I'm still researching on that. the one new card set that I got, the new tarot card, it has a lot of crystals and stones. And before I actually even really go into that one very much, I want to research the different stones. What do they stand for? How are they used? Because this tarot card set has a lot of different stones, and it has a pendulum. It has the cards, the tarot cards. It has like a light feather and a dark feather. So I really want to really look into this set before I try to actually use it. I want to understand, how does all this work together? If I was going to use it in a reading, how would I do that? Always the cards and crystal must be cleaned. Yes, and I don't really want to get anything unless I know that it's new. And then, I can sage it. Because I only want to bring love and light. I don't want anything dark around me. My aunt was a fantastic card reader. That's something that I just started exploring, because I wondered with the paranormal if you could maybe, if you say you're doing a cold case and you're trying to find out everything that you can on a cold case, and you've brought up all the history and you've explored as far as you can explore. I thought, well, maybe if I get some tarot cards and I use them for good, could it help me maybe bring up some more information about that place? And then can I check that information that I received to verify it? But at some point, something dark started to follow and she stopped. And that can happen. Yes, that can happen. And that's why I always want to, light a candle, have my sage, protect myself before I go into anything, be it even the research. I think whenever you're researching, if you're not careful, you can over research, and then it becomes like a shadow. There's like a shadow. You're not quite seeing everything in the light. You're overwhelmed with all this research and all this history. So even with researching, I think you have to be careful what you expose yourself to, because is that just a feeling that you have, or have you opened yourself up to something that you shouldn't have? And I really think that can be done. I really do. But anyway, I need to hop off of here today. I want to go get some things done. I just wanted to stop in. Yes, open doors. Yes. And you really have to be careful not to open a door that you do not want opened. But I've taken up way too much time. It's been almost a little over an hour and a half now. Wow. And I want to go get some things done today. So I want to thank you for stopping in and talking in the chat. Hopefully we'll get started here on some more investigations. My daughter's definitely anxious. She wants to go. And, but I needed my time, to mourn over my beautiful dog. It was nice talking to you, Tammy. See you next time. Okay, and you have a very, very good rest of your day. And again, I just want to send love and light, and want to go out here today and get something done and keep my mind busy and just keep moving forward every day. And I think that's what we need to do whenever we're feeling a loss in our life. And so I'm definitely growing. I'm gaining more and more spirit. My spirit's more at peace, So thank you again. And hopefully, we've discussed something that was good today. And I'm sure that I'm going to be bringing a bunch more research in, the ways that I research, the places I'm going to be going. And I just want to thank you for joining me and being with me. And until next time. sending light and love, and you have a beautiful day. And bye-bye. Thank you.